us being stuck at home being a circuit picker, I receive many more cooking questions compared with property questions. I only have two common types of property questions. The first one is, I just booked a unit at a new launch, but unfortunately I lost my job or I have pay cut. What should I do now? Sorry, I cannot answer for you because I didn't tell you to go and buy a new launch in the first place. The second common question is, should I buy property now? There are three types of people who ask these questions. The first one, they're asking for personal reason. The second group of people, they think this is really the time to buy. The third group, they're simply looking for an investment. For the first type, they're buying for personal reason. They may be starting a new stage in life. They're getting married, waiting for a newborn, or they have just sold their home and looking for a new one. If you're buying for personal stay, you have much less concerns. Just buy something that's very affordable to you. The safest purchase is still first-hand BTO flat from the government. Because BTO flats, they're highly subsidized by the government using taxpayers' money. The government set the price, so you are buying below market value. Of course, this is based on the fact that you don't mind about a 5-year minimum occupation period. And don't think about profiting from your BTO flat, because after 5 years, your flat is subject to the market forces like supply and demand. If you are buying a private property, make sure that this is your first purchase, so you are not subject to any borrowing restrictions or you don't have to pay additional buyer's stamp duties. Make sure that the seller sells it to you at a very good discount. A discount that is comfortable to you so that you can buffer against any future drop in prices. And in the coming few years, even if prices drop, make sure that you won't be upset about it. And you'd better pay the majority in cash, in case in the future, the value of your property drop below the outstanding loan. Some people think that it's time to buy now. It's naive to believe that a new pandemic known as coronavirus will be similar to SARS in terms of spread, duration, impact on economy, and speed of recovery. Some people also say during the SARS period, property prices in Singapore didn't drop much. But they forgot the fact that property prices during 2003 have already been battered for years since 2001. And this time, the impact of coronavirus in the economy is very different from Asian financial crisis and the global financial crisis in 2008 and 2009. The Asian financial crisis, the impact is only limited to the Asian countries, while for the latter, for the financial crisis last time, the industry being impacted are only confined to banking and finance. As the IMF chief economist said, the magnitude and speed of collapse in activity that has followed is unlike anything experienced in our lifetimes. So hold your horses and avoid making any rash decision in property purchase. Both Knight Frank and Kilman and Wakefield expect real estate market to be hit hard because of deep global recession, contraction in commercial real estate, and fall in foreign investment, especially from Chinese investors. It's an interesting phenomenon to see that Singapore property agencies for their ever bullish talks at all times, while the global analysts already issues a warning. They only discredited the local property agencies for their out of context talks. Some people say any time is a good time to buy, but this is only applicable to property tycoons who are negotiating very big deals from business owners who are in troubles, or for very savvy and cash-rich investors who can smell a good deal and negotiating everything very favorable terms on their own behalf. Definitely not for you and me, and not for anybody buying private property at the same time. Some people also say, so we buy when nobody else is buying. But that's not true. There are still a lot of buyers who are very brave and are still buying at the new launches. And Federal Reserve is still buying bonds in the market. Governments all over the world are joining Federal Reserve for the QE infinity game and unlimited ones of relief budget. It's not just for economic or financial reasons sometimes, but for political reasons as well. If everybody else is doing it, can your country afford not to do so? Where is the bulk of money going to? Which parties are actually benefiting from the cheap money? Fed is buying up all the bonds. QE infinity also has a limit. There is no infinity with anything to do with human beings though. We are not the universe. There is a limit to the money they can spend. Wait for them to spend all the money first. And bonds. QE can definitely hold up the prices of equities and bonds, but not for residential properties because the latter requires factors like economic outlook and employment rate. Otherwise, the government won't be extending the ABSD deadline for 6 months for developers and also for buyers who have bought their second private property but not be able to sell the first private property in time. The last group of people ask the question, should I buy property now? They are looking for investment. They may have a very stable job and a very stable business that's 100% immune to any crisis or recession in the future. They may think that putting too much cash in the bank is actually a shame, and they're looking for a better place to put and invest their cash. A few months ago, I noticed that oil prices suddenly dropped a lot. I may be buying some oil when the prices were a little bit lower. Then within a few days' time, and then find some commodity traders give me the names of oil ETF, futures, or some oil company names. And on April 20th, and prices of oil suddenly dropped below zero. And luckily I didn't buy, because I don't even know that there are a lot of people actually speculate on crude oil, and they stock up a lot of oil that no one wants, nobody that they sell to, and there's nowhere that they can store it. You see in Changi airports there are a lot of airplanes that are grounded, and at the coastal line of Singapore you also see a lot of ships and oil tankers filled up with oil. What are the lessons we learned from negative oil prices? First thing is, don't gamble. Never play with fire. Prices can always go lower. Only invest when you can afford to lose the money. Second thing is, don't invest in anything you don't know. Just because you have the spare cash and have no idea what to do with it doesn't mean you have to waste it. If you have to know who, it's safest to put it in a bank. Don't worry about inflation. There is high chance of deflation coming. Third thing, there is no reward for loyalty. Oil prices drop below zero, but if you notice that petrol prices haven't dropped much. There are some fixed costs of petrol kiosks, including rent, labor costs, infrastructure, and operation costs. It's just like interest rates may have revised down, but you are still asked to pay the same interest for your mortgage. Your salary may be cut 30% or more. You may be forced to take leave of absence or unpaid leave, but you still have to pay the same amount of rent to your landlord and the same amount of maintenance fee to the NCST. Those who bought early in new launch, the same thing, they always have to pay the original price at the highest rate, no matter what is happening right now and what will happen next. There is no price revision rebates whatsoever. The last thing is, guard your cash. There will be bad news and more bad news and even more bad news coming before we finally see the silver lining. Cash is not just king during a long, deep recession. Cash is your lifesaver. Guard your cash like your life depends on it. During this possible prolonged downturn, whether you can survive, whether you can come out richer or poorer, depends on how much hard cash you have. I will be telling you as a fellow buyer and investor, because I'm not a developer and I'm not an agent, so sorry if that's very bad news to them. What I think that you can't buy now is the new launch. If any friend come and ask me this question, I will give them the same answers. So the reasons are very simple. I just mentioned it in my last blog post, skin in the game. So the 5 reasons are, we have to be 100% sure that our employment, business and investment will not be affected by this COVID-19 thing. We have financial means and the holding power even if the worst were yet to come. The second reason is if the employees the job further, they'll be like 10, 20 or 50% in the coming months or years. So you really don't mind that buying now at higher prices, like 10 to 50% higher than the future value. The third thing is, are you fine buying under the current loan-to-value restrictions, paying like 4% by stamp duty, 12% to 25% ABSD, then a potential seller stamp duty of 4 to 12%? The fourth thing is, what if after your purchase, the government go and relax the property cooling measure? Then what happens to you if finally one day the government introduce some property stimulus measures? Then you don't get to enjoy it. The most important reason over here why you cannot buy a new launch is you don't know when you can collect the key for your unit. But you are still committing to the payment schedule and you have already paid the down payment. It is very bad the government only say that we extend 6 months for the completion of your project and also for the sale of all the units. But they're not saying that I'm not lifting ABSD or I'm now just like giving you a discount or rebate on your ABSD, or you just need to pay 10% instead of 25 or 30% ABSD. What does that mean is that all the workers right now, the foreign workers, are being locked up under this COVID-19 thing and they cannot do any work. That means if you want to do a show flat or you want to complete the construction of a project, you actually don't know when you can do it again. Does that mean it's going to be 6 months? But even after 6 months, your workers can start work. It's not just like McDonald's that have been closed for some time and now we can open it now and we can start doing business. You have to clean up the sites before you can start work. And some of the workers may have the contract already expired and then you have new workers coming, you have to train them. Then when can you start work again? There's no date when they're going to complete the project and when you can really collect your key. So these are the 5 reasons why you shouldn't be buying new launch projects now. Okay? That's what I have to cover today. I hope you learned something from the video. If you have any burning property question for me, you can email me and I'll try to answer it in my podcast. Thanks for watching. See you next time.